That means if you climbed a chute right now, I got it on film. I'm ready.
Yeah.
So this is my best friend, one of my best friends, Chris Durati. He's the guy I met, gotta be 15 years ago, and we both had turbo nitros at Chatter Creek, and we kind of had a little mini dick swinging contest there for about half a day. And it was like, well, I'm gonna climb this chute, and it wasn't a chute, it was just a big hill with some rocks and these little draws up between them. And then I had my nitro and I did it, and then you had, well, I'm gonna do a bigger one, and then and it's kind of like, well, who are you? Well, I'm Chris. Who are you? Well, Sheldon. You want to be friends? And then
pretty much all
here we are. 15 years later, good friend. Even in my wedding party, I've been climbing chutes with this guy for many years. Every big chute I've climbed, Chris has been there. Or every big chute he's climbed, I've been there.
Yeah.
And as he said in the speech at the wedding, there's going to be one guy that watches his back when he's climbing chutes. It's going to be me, because you got to trust the guy that's got your back if something goes wrong. And obliterated drunk, he vocally spoke those words with the deepest kind of, put his heart rate into it. And we felt it, we understood it, and everyone agreed with him, and we had to take the mic away because he was getting carried away. But he is. So, we've done everything on our sleds. So here's Chris's Viper. And this is the one, we'll go back, there's nitros, but as of recent, 2015 and so on, he's got the Viper. It's pretty much the same sled as mine. Just a little bit different hood, because he's done some custom work to the headlight, lighten it up. Bit different turbo, spools up a bit quicker, but ultimately the same chassis, the same skid, Baker's skid, Race's Edge, the same turbo kit, and the same sled. So he was my ride or die when we did Super Chute. I told Chris one weekend, I'm like, dude, this is the weekend, and he is watching as close as I am. We're gonna do it. And if it's going to get done, it's got to get done now. The Abbey conditions are perfect. The snow conditions are perfect. We don't like climbing in spring snow. We like a little bit of fresh on it. Not fresh, but glorious snow.
Add the challenge, yep.
Well, and it's not boulder field at the bottom from avalanche debris.
Yep.
And, man, I don't know, was it rock, paper, scissors? Or how do we decide you're doing it first?
Man, that day kind of went by so quick. I don't really remember how we decided who was going first, but for whatever reason, it ended up being me, and did my very classic of, hey, I'm gonna go take a look at it, and went straight for it. Thankfully, the cameras were rolling, but
the drone was in the air.
The drone was in the air.
The camera on your helmet wasn't rolling.
That's another story.
It was snapping photos. Yeah, Alex Hansen has 2,000 photos of a chute climb.
Yep.
Not a video.
Every 3 seconds of a chute climb. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was a big day. I did the Rainmaker, but of course I had Chris at the top. Chris and Josh.
Yep.
So it's the two biggest chutes in Revelstoke. There's one more that we haven't looked at on Copeland Creek.
Yep.
But for the most part, the Rainmaker and Super Chute are the two biggest. So they, had my best bud there with me, and we just got back from the drag races.
Yeah.
And boy, hill drags, not just drag races.
Yep.
Hill drags in Elkford, and it was freaking good.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Your sled performed. This freaking guy beat me on his Polaris 850 turbo on my Viper.
Yeah.
I had the line on the right, because I'm always like the line pick guy, and I'm like, I'm gonna pick the good line, way out of the trough, the trenches, and I'm gonna get right close to the rib in here. And when I went, it kind of started going towards the fencing, and holy moly, back on it again. And I'm just not a Michael Matt, so I let off, and I leaned and then back on it, and that was enough for you. You got me there, so that sled got to move on, and then the NOS mod, you went against it. And then the NOS mod beat you.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good to see. I was pretty impressed with that. But then there was Michael. And man, that Sidewinder matrix of his.
Holy shit, Michael.
Yeah, that sled was on another level. Just that build is
Jesus.
nice. Yeah.
He is, when he gets traction, that sled is standing up and it is gone. Like 100 miles an hour. Just gone.
Just wheeling the whole hill too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just wheeling like 6 inches.
No, like on his tail.
Wheeling
Yeah.
and drifting as he goes. It was quite something. It was pretty impressive. Pretty impressed with that sled.
Yeah.
So then, the 858, I ran it in the stock 1000 class. What they did is they set it up where they had the stock 600, stock 700, stock 800, and then stock 1000. Because really there's only the old Arctic Cat 1000s. So that meant that the 858s, the 850s, and the 9Rs were all going to be what went against each other, which is fair enough. That's where they should be. And I was pretty stoked on myself. I was on a high. It was a win, and then a win, and then a win, and then a win, and was cleaning up. And I was like, man, no one's going to touch me. I was super stoked. And the guy on that last win was on a XP Skidoo.
Yeah.
And he was close though. And I was like, whatever, I beat him. Fucking no one's gonna get me. And I was like cocky, thinking the biggest thing in the world. Well, come the final, he then went against the other fast loser, because once you lose one, you're called the loser. But he was the fastest loser. So then he's going against me, undefeated. So I get 2 chances to beat him. In my first chance, I was in the right lane, and there was like this, kind of again on the far right, but it's okay, I'm not worried about the fencing, I can stay away. There's like a weird kind of squiggly. And when I hit it, it just dropped that alpha rail into the trough of the guy previous to me and completely threw me off towards the fence, and I had to lock up the brakes. And I'm telling you, this is in the first 10 feet. Like it is like it hit it, holy moly, brake, throttle again, and just get on it, because it completely threw me sideways. And then he beat me by like
It was
literally
really
like that much.
close to the end. You caught
I was
up to
like,
him,
man,
for sure,
okay,
yeah.
not a big deal. We'll frickin' roast him in the next one. So come back around, switch lanes. He's now in that lane, and I'm in the other lane, which was the rough lane. The left lane was just like this.
It had so many
The
whoops in that lane.
whole way. It was just a roller coaster ride. So you're wheelie. But not a big deal. That's the lane I beat him in the first time. And he must have just picked the most marvelous freaking line, because I laid on it, and I can't say I had a bad line. Like I thought my sled was going good, and nope, he squeaked me.
Yeah.
So he won on an XP, beat the 858, which still a pretty strong showing. You know, beat all the 850 Skidoos, like the new ones, beat all the Polaris 850s.
Yep.
We just couldn't beat that older XP. I couldn't believe it. Man, it was an 800, not even an 858.
It was an old 800, yeah.
Yeah, definitely surprised the hell out of me. So, but you had a juggling match going on, because you entered 2 turbos
In the same class.
in the same class.
Yeah, I was running all over the track, back and forth, the sleds, and
They're yelling out,
Yeah.
who's number 61? And I'm like looking around for a sec. He's up there coming back still.
Yeah, still riding
so
down
I'm
the
running
track.
to your sled, starting it, riding it up to the staging line to get ready, so that you just hit your kill switch, run to your Viper, and hop on it, and then back to the starting line.
yeah.
And then the plan was, if you won again on both of those sleds,
They
I
would
was
have-
going to have to
yeah.
run this one for you.
They would have had to race one another. So, you know, in hindsight, I don't know if I'll enter them in the same class again, but it was still fun because I got lots of racing out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're best to leave that one in that class.
Leave that one and run the Polaris
That's
in the
a
1000.
pretty
Yeah.
gnarly class. There's a lot of sleds. There's the
You could
nitrous
do well, but you're
sleds.
not going to win that class on a stock turbo.
No.
There's some impressive sleds there. Some
You could spend a minute, make this a little bit better of a drag sled, and all that would take is let your limiter strap out and stiffer that
Yeah.
front shock a bit, and that would just transfer more weight to the back to make it wheelie.
If I could have got a bit more weight on the back, it would have helped for sure. It was pretty planted.
It was, but you did better than I did. You got way further.
Yeah.
Because I was a loss against an Apex that I beat him last year, but then this year he cut his track to 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
And then he beat me. So, but you beat him still, which was impressive. So, still worked really good. We got people waving. You got company coming?
I'm not sure.
They're waving in the window as they walk by.
They can wait.
Hockey night at the Duratti's tonight.
Yeah, well, Steph's got a friend down, so yeah, we have some friends coming over probably for some drinks. But.
Oh yeah, it could be a fun night.
Yeah.
Should I call Julie now and tell her that I'm not coming home?
Just tell her you're staying the night. Yeah, drive home tomorrow.
One podcast led into another, and before you knew it, I was too drunk.
We got lots of space for you, my friend.
Which this is your shop. This is where Chris's magic happens.
Yep.
There's been a lot of fix jobs on that.
This thing's been through the ringer, yeah.
Hey, the whole tunnel flipped over that time from the broken rubber chute.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people believe that a sled's been up that chute.
3 sleds.
3 sleds have been up that chute. The first year, Chris tried it, gave it his fucking best.
You know, and that was the year that it, you know, just unfortunately the way things went that day, but like I had it.
How do you blow your belt 10 feet from the top on a chute that's never been climbed and is a one-way trip? There is no going down that chute.
No.
Because it's a waterfall at the bottom.
Over the bars.
It's wide, all the way down to the bottom where it narrows up to a waterfall. And if you had to come down that, and there's like bumps on the way down too.
Even if it's stuck, I don't know what we would have done because I'm not riding it down there.
You would have had to have pushed it.
I just would have pushed
Would have been screwed again, no matter what. The whole thing was just folded in half. But you rode it out. No, I drug you out.
We told
I had
we
to
were
tow
out
you
at
out.
like 2 in the morning that morning.
Yeah. Oh no. Stick. Oh, that was a late one. Well, Greg Brass came up to help just in
Came to help
case.
us just past
I
the
put the
lake there,
SOS out. So he fixed it, and then we went back the year after.
Well, because I always have the luck when I do roll it for whatever reason, whether it's my own mistake or mechanical failures, my sled likes to hit everything on the way down. So I definitely have that luck of, if it's going to roll down and wreck, it's going to wreck it real good.
Yeah.
Because it got on its skis that day too.
It did.
It went down and smoked all them trees.
Smeared against the rocks.
Yeah.
And then peeled the tunnel.
Yep.
And then somehow flipped onto its skis and coming straight down through the narrow section of the chute over the waterfall.
Yep. Which I was actually fairly lucky because it could have hit those rocks in that narrow section, and then there's nothing left to fix.
Yeah.
In the end, it wasn't that much. It was a tunnel extension because these ones have the tunnel extensions, and that's essentially what made me do the headlight delete. Is it smashed my handlebars and my headlight off?
Yeah. Because it came in straight down into it and crushed the top of it.
Yep. But what was it? 2 years later? I think two years.
It was 2 years. It wasn't the next year. It was 2 years later.
Redemption.
The snow filled in, and it's got to have enough snow. Not a lot of people would look at it and think, boy, that's climbable. But when you eyeball it for a few years and wait for the snow to fill the waterfall in the back of Cooper Lake up Lumberton to the far left, and the top of it, you'd be like, where the hell are you going? Well,
and where down we go, where down we go.
Chris found a parking spot up top.
Well, you wouldn't know we could actually probably climb that if you and I didn't put in the effort the first time.
Well, we hiked the whole ridge.
the whole ridge to find a way down.
To make sure that we can go down into heaven on the backside. A little bit sketchy.
Less sketchy than going back down the chute, but yeah, there's some risk on the other side as well, yeah.
All three of us made it.
Yep.
So there's you, and then me,
Yeah, but for the folk who my heart, do you
and then you and me are high-fiving and hugging, having our bromance at the top of the chute, and all of a sudden on the radio from Josh, make room.
Yeah, that was one of the
We
best.
looked
radio
at each
calls I
other.
heard. It was like,
Holy shit. Okay.
we're moving sleds forward.
Yeah, pull them all right to the edge before they drop down the other side into heaven.
You got it, Josh.
You got
All
it.
good.
That fucking counts.
I was trying to wave.
Heaven. Yeah. And then Josh, he went high or something there and then stopped early. And I scurried.
I remember that. So he got excited, and when we were standing on the side, and he went to like take his arm off the bar and be like, "Yeah, I got it too." And then he let off and planted on like the little tiny cornice that was there. So he was only 2 feet from the top, but it took a lot of effort for us.
I got
to
it
pull
on
him over.
video. You run and scurry to the sled, and you like quickly
Yeah.
grab the ski to make sure. But he was planted and he had traction. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That's definitely a highlight because Josh wasn't there for Super Chute.
No.
And at the top of Super, and I'm telling you, like Super Chute's big, but this broken rubber chute almost feels
It's
like
up
as
there
big
with
as
that, yeah.
accomplishment.
It's up there with
it's
that.
big. But then at Super, you and me are at the top, having our beer at the top, celebrating, and like, fuck, we wish we had Josh.
Yeah.
Where's Josh?
Yeah, Josh was definitely the third amigo that made a lot of that fun as well, doing those shoots with us.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely missed him on that one.
But yeah, Super Chute was again obviously that another high of you and I hugging it out at the top.
Bromance.
Yeah.
And holy crap. And I was on the radio because I can't see. So I'm calling everybody. Did he make it? Did he make it? And then all of a sudden, yeah, he made it. Oh shit, my turn. Okay, here I go.
When I remember you calling me on the radio and saying, "How was it? What do I do?" And I said, "Go fast."
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
then that's when you come around
I went
that,
too
that
fast.
corner, and you were almost going too fast.
So the corner at the top, so it goes up and then to the left and then it turns right into the crack. And I'm just flying up this thing, and I look to my right and I'm like, holy shit, there's the
chute's
fucking
over there,
chute.
yeah.
Turning into this thing now. But it worked out. There was enough traction.
yeah,
All of that speed for nothing.
yeah, maybe not the best advice at the time, but like I'm not gonna lie, when I was about halfway up that, and I'm usually like, you know, the one that says, "Oh, I'll just have a look and go," and then when I got halfway up, I was pretty nervous. Like that was, out of all the chutes I've climbed, that was the most nervous chute I've been in for sure. It's just so big and long, and the risk is so high.
It gives me the nervous farts just sitting here thinking
Yeah.
about it, to be honest.
And I started going to the gut. I'm kind of, you're getting arm pumped because you've already been on it for so long, and then I'm just looking at it going like, okay, just do it. Don't hit the rocks. Don't hit the rocks. You got to make a small S turn in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So tight.
when Randy did it in Thunderstruck, they measured it for their movie, and it's 7 feet wide. So if you think of ours are almost 40 inches wide, like you got this much on either ski in a chute that's like this.
Now I got to come up through your trough
For a couple 100 feet, you got a
3
track
feet
in it, yeah.
on each side of your track. That's all there is. And I got to try and find some fresh snow or
Yeah.
drop into your trough. I think I just poached your trough.
I think you stayed in the trough, and then I went right out of the
Yeah.
chute, and you went left out of the chute.
Which is what Tyson did, but he had to, because
Yeah.
where you went right,
That
2
rock
years
was
later, there's a
covered,
frickin' boulder there. And he up, and then all of a sudden a rock to the right, and then there's another rock, or to the left, and then to the right, and around these frickin' rocks, I had no idea they're at the top. But this year, they're filled in. 100% they're filled in.
They gotta be. It's a big snow year again. It's gotta be
But
filled
this
in.
is the year, it's worse than the year you and I did it. You and I knew that there was no abnormalities in the snowpack. So we could trust that, we dug a pit still.
Yeah.
But we could trust the snowpack. There was no inconsistent layer throughout the season of the snow,
Yeah.
of the winter. Where this year, there's a massive inconsistency there.
And that one's high risk. If something happens, it's really high risk. So we
Yeah,
gotta
like-
calculate it. If
Like
we
an
go this
airport
year.
chute, you get caught in an avy. Really, to be honest, I've been in avalanches in those smaller chutes. You pull your cord, you ride it down, and then by the time the avalanche disperses on the exit of the chute, you just stand up. But if it lets go and super shoot,
It's so
you're
big.
not even going to die from being buried in the avalanche. You're going to probably die on the tumble down of the cartwheels. If you look like that skier,
Yeah.
when they lose their skis and they're doing this, like it's like head, toe, head, toe, head, toe.
Well, and it's not straight, so it would push you over cliffs.
Don't know. It could push whatever it does. It wouldn't be good.
So, but that's a good thing, because that's what we did the first time. Is we definitely calculate the risks. We dug a snow pit, top of
We
it,
didn't calculate the risk. We eliminated the risk.
or eliminated it. But
Yeah, we made sure there was zero risk. Can we climb this right now? There's no avalanche hazard at the top, and that's where I was worried. Was the top? And I didn't want it to break there because of the wind load, and then push us down through that chute.
the risk after that, all it was is your sled planting you somewhere. But that's
Yeah.
always the risk. So
Yeah. You gotta dig it in,
yeah,
and then now either you're just pushing it and saying goodbye, or you're
calling a
leaving it
chopper,
there.
yeah.
And you know what? You probably could leave it there for like a day or two.
nobody's
It's
going
not
there.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
Leave it, go to the bottom, sign the waiver, tell them the GPS cords, and they'll just fly to the top. They can climb down, or meet them there, climb down, tie it on,
Grab it, yeah.
and then hook off and go. Yeah, that's true. I got super chute and rainmaker. Just leave the fucking sled, go to the bottom,
But-
drink beer, worry about it the
Yeah.
next day.
I remember. Do you remember the conversation going to Revelstoke
Yes.
about climbing super chute?
Yes,
too? And
the
I was
whole
like-
way.
So we're driving to Revelstoke, and the conversation was essentially in the truck was, if I don't make super chute, I'll quit sledding. I think is what I said to you, because it was just nervousness. We knew we were going there specifically for that day to accomplish this big feat on a snowmobile, and I don't
We
know.
didn't even do Boulder first.
No.
It was straight to Turtle.
I don't even know if I did a practice shoot.
On Friday. No.
Like, I think we drove right over there,
Straight to
Yeah.
the top. Yeah.
We went right to the top, checked it all out.
walked down,
Yeah.
shoveled the pit. Alex droned it, and then all the way around
Yeah.
back over to the Eagles Pass side, and then down. And Randy said, like, you got to know your way down. Half the adventure is getting to the bottom of it.
It was fast.
It was. Well, and that's the sunny side, so it had all the avalanche debris
Yeah.
from the snow sloughs. As the snow gets warm, it sloughs and comes down. As you come down out of the trees to get to the bottom of that basin, it is like, holy moly, here I come. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
through the debris field. It was rough. So, yeah.
It was a cool day.
Yeah, it was. Big day. So, those were the topics, I think. I got best friend, my wedding speech, best chute climbing buddy you could ever ask for, the super chute, and then the drag races, and how gnarly Michael Matt was on that sled. Just the dancing
Yeah,
machine.
Michael Sled was ripping today, and then back to like the chute climbing buddy. Like, I just sometimes forget about how many chutes and areas we've been together and climbed together, and a lot of times it's just you and I. Right? So we weren't always the ones that had to be filmed to do it. We just loved climbing chutes.
I mean, I always had my own camera.
We always did, yep.
Yeah, and I'd always get them on film. There's a lot of Winter Nutz movies with Chris and I on just a day in Revelstoke.
Yep.
And it was every shoot. He did one, I did one. He did one, I did one. And then we did sled golf with Randy, actually.
Yep.
And Neil and TJ and Flipper Phil and Tisdale.
We did that for 2 years in a row. That was
2
fun
years
too,
we did the sled golf. And that was before everyone decided they're going to start riding on the Big Iron weekend.
Yep.
But that was ish weekend, close to the same time.
Yep.
They always pick the same date. That was fun. But there was only one shoot, and you know this as well as I do, that I've done, 2 shoots that I've done that you haven't. And I think one's probably going to get checked off here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's McLaren's Mile.
McLaren's Mile, I haven't done yet.
Yeah, that one I think is definitely going to be good. It's not that bad. I feel like you'll have no issues on that one.
And the year you did it, I'm not really sure why I didn't do it that year.
Yeah.
But
yep. And then Rainmaker. And I'll never hold anything over anybody's head for not wanting to do that shoot. Because that's the consequence of not climbing that chute is not just the ride down and leaving your sled. If for any reason you went down that, the way it comes down out of the chute, it then kind of plateaus a bit and then off a cliff band. And I didn't come up the cliff band. I side hilled above it and then into the chute and up. Where Brad's story, when he did it, he came up from the bottom by the bottom of Super Chute, came around the S turn at the top of the cliff band, and then entered the Rainmaker chute from there. So it's like, boy, that one I think is a tough one to put 2 sleds up to. It's got more room
top.
in the chute.
In the chute, but the top was narrow.
The top, but you could have turned a lot earlier. I watched my video.
Yeah.
It's the intro to this podcast. Every time I look at that on the intro to this podcast, I look at how much room I had if I would have stayed away from the rocks.
Yeah.
But the problem is the Vipers are quite heavy, and just that to get it to come is quite a bit, and you lose a ton of speed. Where if someone did it on 850 Polaris Turbo, just a slight little foot plant on the left running board, and it would just go where you wanted, and you shortcut the corner.
Yeah, maybe we'll see in a few weeks. Maybe we put a factory sled up one of those.
Yeah. That, if you did it on a factory sled, I think even Kosturki would be frickin'...
Yeah.
on a factory...
Maybe I gotta bring it then.
Yeah. That's what you're climbing it with then. Yeah. Okay, well, I've been trying to line this podcast up for a while. It's busy. Chris has kids, has hockey.
Yeah.
He lives in a different town up in the Elk Valley, and it's been kind of tough to line it up. So with the drag races today, I knew we had to get it together and make it happen. So your friend's son is gonna hit subscribe. So if that little guy can hit subscribe, you can hit subscribe. And I really would like to try and hit that 1,000 followers area where I was explaining to you and his son's friend, the benefits to that and the perks. So please hit subscribe, help me out. Let's get the podcast kind of up and rolling so I can continue to do this next year again. The more followers, the more viewers, the more likely I am to do it. If I only have 300-400 views on a podcast, it's kind of like, well, gee, what's the point? I mean, I have fun doing it. Like, regardless, we're going to have a beer. Regardless, we're going to talk some sweet stuff and have fun.
It's fun
reminiscing.
Talking sleds regardless, but yeah.
But if I have 2,000 or 3,000 views on a podcast, it's kind of like, yeah, a lot of people and a lot of comments. So the comments help too. If I get a comment from someone, I'm like, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for the comment. And I answer them.
Yep.
Every one of them, to make sure that I show my appreciation to everybody that is viewing this. And the more I can get, the more likely I'll be to continue doing it. And we talk chutes, we talk snow, and we talk a lot of Arctic Cat talk, which is actually over 10,000 views. I think 20,000 views on one of them. As soon as I put the word like Arctic Cat 858 into it last year, it was a touchy subject for a lot of people, and it was like easy clickbait.
Yeah.
I had a lot from that one. So thank you. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, Chris. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for having me in the shop and the pizza and beer.
You betcha. Anytime.